Hey, I need to install some driving lights on this. Last time we were out, it got dark real early, and I really couldn't see what was going on around me, only in front of me. I picked up some lights and a Mictuning 8-gang switch panel. We're going to install that. So these are some lights that I picked up off Amazon. I got these Big Lion. They're a 4-inch LED, amber, like if it's foggy or whatever, this will help. And then I picked up these Nilights, also from Amazon. I got a light bar. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I got this set because I thought I'd put it on the front bumper above the winch. But mainly I wanted to get these little 4-inch lights here. So my plan was to put 2 of these facing forward or maybe into the ditch off the front, and then 2 on the back for like backup lights. Oh yeah, some assembly required. So we'll see how how I set those up for sure. Had some ideas, not real sure. But this is what I was really excited about. Dylan on Empty Pockets Off-Road and Overland, on his white Jeep, he put one of these on, and they're really awesome. Let's see if I can get it. So this is your switch panel. Maybe you've seen these. These are it's an 8-gang. You can get 8s, 12s. I think this one here, we got this one like a year ago, just waiting to put it on this pickup. When I saw it, I just had to have it. But anyhow, that's the wiring. You find a place to install that where you can get to it real easy. And then you run this wire out to this control box that doesn't have to be inside the cab. And it just plugs into this. I'm going to mount this under the hood on one of the fenders. If the wire is long enough to reach the right fender, I will probably put it there just close to the battery. And then I just need to find a good place to secure this. And this is what I was really excited about. If I was going to run, 2, 4, 5, 6 sets of lights, imagine how many wires you'd have to run underneath that dash or various places. I'm still going to have to run wire from this box to different locations, but I don't have to drill 8 holes or try to find a place to put 8 switches and run 8 sets of wires from under the dash. This is going to be really nice. I'm really excited about it. So that's what I'm going to figure this out first. I have an idea. Show you what I'm going to do. So my first thought in here was to install it right here. I don't smoke. I don't need an ashtray and a cigarette lighter. But this panel just fit in here perfect. And that was my first thought. And another nice thing about it is I could actually close that door with that in there. But if I'm buckled in here really good, I won't be able to reach that. I'm about 4 inches from reaching those. If I lean forward, I can get them. But if I have a harness seat belt in here, I'm not going to be able to reach that. So then I thought maybe of putting a little bracket right here where I could reach it, and that would work. The passenger could still reach it. But then I'm going to run a wire behind all these trim pieces. See this right here? My AC doesn't work in here. I don't even have a pump. And I can reach that sitting back in my seat. So I thought, whoops, that wouldn't look too bad right there in my dash. To install that right here, I just need to take this vent duct out of here, and I could take this cover or this bezel off. And then I picked up some Velcro. What did I do with that? Just self-adhesive, and I can actually stick it on here, maybe around the surround of this, and also to the back of this, and I can just Velcro that right on there. Be out of the way, easy to reach. I do have stickers I can put on here for what the lights are. So you can install these for lots of different reasons. You got rock lights, underglow lights, bumper lights, rear lights, front lights, flood lights, roof lights. But I am going to get this installed. All right. So all I need to do is take this vent piece out. It is actually just screwed on the back here. I think I will just unscrew that. Funny thing is, not too long ago I just changed this because the one that was in there before was all busted up. All right. Just like that. But I'm going to clean this up and I'll stick that Velcro on there. There's a bunch of dirt and junk in there. We'll get that cleaned up and then I'll reinstall it. Okay, this switch panel and this main panel here work in conjunction with each other. I think that's how you open that up. Oh, yeah. So the fuses are in here. This is where you wire up your auxiliary items, lights or whatever. The switch panel, oops, here it is, will actually plug into that. It only goes one way, and that will control. But in here we have power leads, all the mounting hardware, all kinds of brackets and things for mounting these. Main bracket for this box. Mount this box. If you do it just right, you can set this up and mount it right to the wall, firewall or fender or whatever. So you got hardware for that, extra fuses and connection bolts and screws, and a breaker. You got a main breaker for that whole thing. Just great idea as well. Need to figure out which button you want to control which item. And that's going to be my next thing to figure out. Obviously I want the most common used ones on top. I think I'm just going to have four sets of lights hooked up to that. And I will do those on top. I'll probably use lights more than anything else. There. Okay, so I've got this all cleaned up. I touched it all up. I stuck this Velcro on here. Really sticky stuff. It's good stuff. And I put it on the back of the controller here too. So should be able to just set that in here, kind of in the middle. It should be stuck on there really good. I don't have to worry about it falling off. Maybe if it gets really hot outside, it could come unstuck. Hope not. All right, so I'm just going to try to fish these wires down, or this wire down through here. Looks like I might have plenty to reach out under the hood to the right side. I'm going to go ahead and route that direction. All right. Okay, let's put her all back together. So I'm wiring up my lights right now. To make things easy and clean, I have some of this trailer wire, four strand trailer wire. It's pretty nice if you're going to wire up multiple lights in the same area, just because it's one strand. You can feed it through your holes or wherever you're going to feed it, and then you just peel off the strands as you need them. So I used it to do two lights in the front here. I've got these amber fog type lights on the front and my light bar. So I ran this, which would take care of 2 sets of lights. It's really clean, really easy to work with. Now, Zach, my son, had some of these. He told me to try these out, and they are really nice. I've been wanting to try them. They're a self-shrinking, self-soldering butt connector. These are pretty thin, and it'll burn right through if you use anything but a heat gun. So I am using a heat gun. And all I'm doing is setting these on. You put these on first. I've made a lot of mistakes with heat shrinking tube, forgetting to even put it on until after I'm done. And I am doing the dark color for ground, for neutral. And I'm trying to give these a little twists. You don't necessarily have to give them a twist, but I am trying to twist them. And then I just slide this back over the top, kind of carefully. It hangs up sometimes. Anyhow, they're on there like that. Hopefully you can see that. Try to twist that where you can see it. There's not a whole lot going on. It's kind of hard to tell if the solder is melting, but if you look at it when it has melted, the edges of the ring are kind of soft and round. Otherwise they have a little sharper edge on them. Just like that. They're shrunk and soldered. Isn't that handy? Well, I never did mention how obviously you can see where I put it. I chose this spot here on the inner fender because I can look over the fender and see straight down on this. It's really easy to see what's going on, and it's nice and close to the bumper. I don't know if you can see it, but I mounted right here the breaker switch. I don't know if you need it, but I just thought it'd be handy. There's nothing wrong with putting that on there. These are fused, but having this large breaker would really protect anything, and potentially even this unit here. So when you come over here to the panel, I got it all hooked up. I got a red light here, means there's power to the box. But these junction points are not marked 1 through 8. So, but there are, however, little LED indicator lights. So if you wanted to know which one was what, I want to know which one my light bar is. So I'm going to go inside, turn the light bar on, and one of these LED little red lights should come on. Light bar is on. Okay, and that is position number 4. So I will make that my number 4 connection. You could write on here, number them if you wanted, but now that I know what that is, and then I can, my yellow bumper lights, turn that one on. My amber lights. Okay, so that's number 4 and that's number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and strip these back, wire them in, both these, and then see how well that works. I'm going to turn them off. If you don't know this already, if you twist these wires, they cooperate a lot easier when you're trying to poke them into a small orifice. Okay. On the side here, it'll tell you which one of these is positive, which one is negative. That one's my negative. Oh, got some goop in there. Okay. I got those flipped around. these panels like this are really handy to work with. Look how simple it is too. Typically you'd have a million wires running underneath your dash to power lead or some kind of a junction box. Hopefully you didn't just wire them directly to your battery. Twist those up nicely. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I will go turn these on. These lights should light up, and so should the lights out front here. Oh yeah. Yeah, is that blinding? Super brightness. All right, I still have to wire up my ditch lights. I'm going to do that next. I think I have enough wire left over. So I have this one. I need to connect that one and then over to the box. Okay, I'm all wired in. Really nice, really clean. These are the 3 sets of wires for the 3 sets of lights I have hooked up at this point. I have an extra pair of lights for probably backup. Anyhow, I've got that hooked up, all wired in nice, real clean. Okay, all my wires I tried to do a nice clean job here. I've got that black lead right here from the switch panel inside. Got it run through, laced through the eyelets here, and the wire for these lights. I couldn't do as fancy of a job, but I did as best I could. I wired it in, or tucked it in here nicely. So, you know, it's kind of clean. Really don't want a spaghetti mess underneath your hood if you can help it, because somewhere along the line you're going to have a bad connection come loose, or the wire's going to dangle down on an exhaust, or, you know, I don't know. It just looks ugly. So, anyhow, I got that taken care of. And then in here I got my panel wired in. The one nice thing about this panel is it has constant power. So you don't have to fumble for your keys to turn the power on. You can just come in here and hit whatever you want, turn the light on. If you wanted all your lights on all the time when you're driving and you turn it off, it has a memory, so it'll actually turn those back on. Just like that. Pretty cool feature. It can save you a lot of trouble on settings if you have certain things that you want on all the time, and you can turn them off. Well, you can turn them on at one push of a button instead of multiples. Now this also has a backlight feature. You can change colors. I was looking for a color that the indicating light would show well on. There's a couple colors. This green really shows up. This blue shows up. Now if this blue backlight is too bright, you can dim it, which might be a good idea depending on how bright it is in here. I don't know until it's dark, but you got multiple settings there. So that's a really nice feature. This has momentary on. You hold this button until it flashes red, and then you pick a button. Like if I wanted that to be my horn, I go toot, toot, toot. Then I can shut that off, just like that. Now it's on all the time. Now this also has a strobe feature. Like if you wanted to do signals or a flasher in here, you can do the same thing. Turn that on. When it goes to red, it actually is in the thinking mode. And then push this one more time, it turns blue. If I wanted this to be my flashers, then it's set. Now I turn that on and it'll flash like flashers, or I can do two of them, right and left for signal. Pretty cool. We'll just do the same thing we did before. Turn it off and go back. It's off. So anyhow, it's really cool features. I like it a lot. It gives you a lot of options, a lot of preference on how you want things set. Like I mentioned, it has memory, so whatever settings you set it at, it will stay. Having multiple things on all the time, it's really cool. Well, I hope you found this helpful. I've been really excited about putting this light or the switch panel in. I got that panel before I even got any lights. Now that I have the lights, I made time to put them in. I'm really happy with this switch panel. It's going to get dark here pretty soon, and I'll go out and kick them on, and I'll let you see that here at the end. So this is stuff you can get on Amazon. The Mictuning switch panel, I'll put a link in the description. The new one actually has a Bluetooth feature that you can hook your phone up to it, so you could be sitting by the campfire if you're out camping and turn your lights on from your phone. But anyhow, I'll put the link to the lights and the Mictuning panel. Anyhow, Dylan on Empty Pockets Off-Road and Overland, he got the newer model for his Red Phoenix Jeep, which is the Bluetooth model. He put a video out on installing that and how the features work on that. You can go check that out. I'll put a link to his video on here as well, and you can go check him out on that panel. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Bye.